So as we're getting comfortable, laying all the way back, just find yourself checking in with your body, experiencing a beautiful amount of presence with whatever it is that's going on right now. I've started to notice that a lot of times we check out of our lives, we kind of purposely numb ourselves when things start to get a little bit harder. Whether this is physically hard, doing activities that, like push-ups or something that are hard, and we just kind of like check out of it rather than really trying to breathe and be present through it, feel it, encourage ourselves to do more. But also, like, even just in good stretches, sometimes I get into the stretch and I feel my body at first, but then my mind kind of checks off, checking into something else, thinking about my to-do list, thinking about all the things that I have to remember, and all those kinds of things. And so the invitation today is embodiment, trying to really be present with this body that we have, present through our stretches, present through the minor little adjustments that don't even look like anything, but that can completely change our experience. So really be with your body. Give yourself permission to explore with what you have. And with that, I get to lead us onward. Let's begin with our initial stretches. Arms go nice and long to the space behind you. Shoulders can start to wiggle right and left. Again, already finding presence right here. So really be with the side body as it's opening. Breathing into the lungs. Feeling all the little muscles that are involved to help us bend to the side. Feel it through the core. Muscles we don't always use. Let's just take it one more time each side. And when you return, allow yourself to begin hugging your right knee into the chest. Maybe a couple of nice little ankle rolls. Right leg starts to stretch all the way upward to the sky. So grab onto it, help to pull it in. And hook the right heel over to that left side for the hip opener. Sliding shin in, feels nice and deep through that right hip. I love taking initial stretches like this in our aerial classes not only because it just feels good, but also this is a chance for us to check in with our body. There's all sorts of muscle groups that are involved in these simple little stretches. So it gives us time and space to check in so that on days when our body needs us to back off, we're aware of it already right here. On days that our body's feeling good and it really wants us to explore deeper, we can be present with that as well. So with this hip opener, take another huge inhale. Relax, exhale. And bring out the leg, give it a little tug up to the sky, and release it all the way down. Second knee comes in. Give it a hug, maybe adding ankle rolls. Some days if I'm including extra hikes, my ankles start to get tight. So this is a good chance, if that's your case right here, to just wiggle it out. Eventually left leg up to the sky. Check in with the hamstring. Another deep inhale. And exhale, hook the heel, slide the shin in. Good things happening already. Another deep inhale. Exhale, release this leg, maybe a tug up to the sky before it drops all the way down. And then from here, grabbing your hands on, let's start to sit up. Based on how your body feels already, I'm gonna give you 3 choices. You choose what would feel best. Option 1, keeping the legs inside, just take a nice back bend. Option 2, take the legs free to take that back bend. Option 4, take the inversion, wrapping the legs around, bringing the spine further. So just listen for whichever option the body would be most happy to explore and find yourself coming into that shape. Some of us will want a bit more time, so feel free to just explore as long as it's still feeling amazing. No rush to get out at all, just be with your body. Based on which one you chose, you can take different restorative poses when you're ready to come out. So this could be just simple floating child. Form that low back opening. This could be straight leg stretch inside, even Shavasana. So just start to make your way into that nice recovery pose. Maybe head loosening is feeling good here. Starting to rock the head as far over to the right shoulder as it can go and as far over to the left. Enjoying another good inhale. And then exhale, we're sitting up all the way nice and tall. From here, our right hand comes behind the back edges of the fabric. The arm is straight, crossing over to the left side. The left hand grabs that side of the fabric to help us try to square the shoulders forward. I like to drop the right shoulder away from the right ear to help deepen that shoulder stretch there. Good, and then turning it into a twist, leave that right arm hooked. Start to open up the left arm behind you, or maybe circle it around the back side of the head. Good, another inhale. And exhale, release. Start to switch sides, left straight arm hooks on that back right part. The right arm pulls onto that right side of the fabric, helping to square our shoulders forward. Try to drop the shoulder away from ear. Good, and into the twist from here. Opening the right arm behind, maybe circling around the head. And a good inhale. Exhale, release. Bunch up the side of the fabric that will help you face toward me. Straighten the arms, get that side leg up and in. And then let's send both heels into the fabric, legs straightening out nice and long. Wide leg stretch, try to sit tall. Arms are on the calves or on the fabric to help press it nice and wide. Following our breath for a little while, slide the right hand on the right leg, circle left arm up and over, shoulders are still stacked. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, slide down left leg. Inhale, rise. Try to slow down your breath and just follow the breath speed. Exhale, we go down to one side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, second side. Inhale, rise. Let's take about 3 more to each side. Last one to each direction. Shoulders feeling a bit warmer from this. Beautiful. As we rise back up, make sure the feet are entirely inside the fabric. That way we don't have to readjust if we come to stand inside. So then we'll slide the heels in close to the glutes, pop the knees out. Wrapping the fabric in front of you takes us to a low plie squat. And then sliding hands up higher brings us all the way to stand. Take yourself to face the top of your mat so the other arm can either swing around the fabric, setting up for forward splits that way. Or if you know you want to go a little bit deeper, you can readjust to do the thumbs down grip over each shoulder from the front end. Start to head into a nice gentle stretch. This is really the first one of the day, so don't have to force anything too deep. Let's take about 2 more full breath cycles. And then gently drop onto the back knee. Front leg extends nice and straight. Slide the hands down toward that foot. Legs stay as they are, but torso rises back up. Grab onto the fabric. We're gonna shift our hips back so that we can sit on our back foot. So you kind of have to bring your hips past that spot where they get stuck. So then from there, reach both arms forward, grab that front foot, ankle or calf, and continue to just lean, stretching and relaxing over that front straight leg. Starting to sit up tall. This leg that's in front of you is going to take the Gomukhasana shape. So this takes our knees to stack. That foot needs to go to the side of your hip. Your arms are off the front. So completely dive your shoulders through the front part. Circle the arms away and then clasp your wrists from behind. With that clasp, you can start leaning forward, allowing the hips to open even deeper. As you release the hands, come back in immediately. Send that front leg forward into pigeon. You can choose if it's king pigeon, staying inside with the back bend, or perhaps free out the shoulder that's closer to the front toes. Beautiful inhale. Exhale, rock onto that front hip. Legs open, nice and wide. Arms pressing into the fabric to help that out. A little bit more shoulder and arm warming up. So the arms are holding onto the outer part of the fabric, pushing wide at the same time that the legs squeeze together. Because the legs are stronger, you do come with feet to touch. And then relax. The arms get to press everything open. Good, so arms keep that pressure, squeeze legs together. Inhale, open. Let's take 3 more. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Make sure feet are still covered as we set up for the second side, standing all the way up. Take that little prep squat and then come up to stand. This time face away from the front. You can either do the armpit hook from behind or the thumbs down grip from in front. Your personal preference. Start to head into that splits to that direction. 3 good breaths when you get there. And then gently drop onto the back knee. Half split, the hands slide toward that front foot. Start to shift the hips back past the fabric to sit onto your back foot. Continue to reach forward, perhaps even deeper than before. More ease, more release. As we sit up, the front foot swings over to the side for that Gomukasana leg cross. Once we're there, shoulders go through that back end, circle all the way around to grab wrist and lean forward. Two more beautiful breaths. Be present with your body. As you finish that second exhale, simultaneously release hands and come back in. Send that front bent knee forward into pigeon. Choose your pigeon variation, maybe king or maybe sleepy. Another good inhale. Exhale, rock onto the front hip to swing the legs open wide. And then touch the bottoms of both feet together, a beautiful meditative seat. With this freedom of our hands from inside, we're going to give our shoulders a nice little massage. So Take your hands up to the shoulders or the back of the neck. And just breathe as we're being present with this part of our body. Three more breaths just to be in this beautiful space. Beautiful. Start to free out each foot out of the sides of the fabric. And we're going to mimic what we did before, but the legs have to muscularly lift themselves this time. So when we go to the right side, right leg straightens, we slide right hand down, left leg up, left arm up and over. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, switch sides, slide down left. Inhale, rise. Taking 3. 2. And 1. Pause on this side, whatever side you're at. See if either hand can reach the heel or the calf. The other hand can support you. Maybe try to lift it up out of the fabric just a hair, just slightly deeper. And then release it completely, rise up. As we slide down to the last side, see if you can grip on. Maybe lift up. The top hand's easier to do the lift, but you can play with the bottom hand. Beautiful. Just kind of playtime, rise up. Take a stop sign hand, pressing the fabric in front of your face as each heel goes into that space. Good. Continue to readjust if your feet didn't go quite centered. And then for today, we're going to shift our glutes closer toward that leg side. This makes the legs more straight up and down. Our back gets to release into just a gentle curvature. Whatever feels comfortable. You can drop down. You can be circling around the back of the head. You could even hug around your thighs. Whatever feels really good and comfortable for your body. Two more breaths here. Take them deep. Make them present. And then both legs together are going to slide to the top of your mat. Shift the hips until you're sitting like normal. And then we're setting up for vampire. So get the fabric to cover the shoulders. The excesses continue to be brought down toward the feet. We'll start off with just normal vampire at first. If anybody wants to play with variations of vampire after that, that's fine. So essentially you choose if feet are inside or outside or whatever's going on there. So then when you're ready to, start to work your way up, feet push into the fabric. Just a gentle grip of the hands. Make sure shoulders are safe. Start to rise upside down. Try to be present through the shoulder release that's happening here. Try to get those shoulders to sink away from the direction of the ears. Purposely allowing that to happen. So all of this is at your own time, at your own pace. So if there's other variations you'd like to play with, go ahead. Otherwise, this can be beautiful just to be with the shoulders right here. Into the rest if you're not there already. If you've been in the rest for a while, perhaps you're ready to start working your way up to sit. Beautiful. As we start sitting upright, clasp your hands behind your hips. The hands go to the right hip, the right ear goes down to right shoulder. Head goes up, hands to left hip, left ear down. Beautiful. Head up, hands release. Bunch up the fabric nice and tight to each side. 5 times we're going to do 5 leg lifts as much as we can and then lowering them down. On the 6th one, we're going to attempt a little flip. If that doesn't feel safe, you'll just come out the front instead. So lean back into it, legs lift as high as they can. 5 and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then if you'd like the flip, continue slow motion, go all the way back around. Beautiful. Kind of fun, huh? Good. So grip the fabric from behind, arms are going straight, a bit wider than shoulders. Keep the shoulders pressed down away from ears, shoulder blades squeezing together as much as possible. And then start to lean back just a couple of inches. Doesn't take much to experience that nice shoulder opening. Another good inhale. Exhale, come back upright. Take the fabric under shoulder blades. Come back to take the slack out. Walk forward, hips are under plumb line. We're trying to be a little bit lower perhaps than normal, just so that we're not pushing into the nerves and into the blood on the armpit. So from here, the left foot stays planted. The right heel is going to the ground. 5 times we lift that right leg up as much as it possibly can go, and then lower. 4, 3, 2. On this last lift, catch it, holding onto the thigh, onto the calf, whatever you can reach, and try to continue to pull it into your body as much as possible. If you need to release and come to straight legs, that's okay. Otherwise, we're trying to hold another 3 breaths with a straight leg lift. And after breath number 3, this right leg swings back behind us. We're coming up into basically a pyramid pose on the back toes though. So both legs are straight. Feel ourselves starting to get just gently into the right psoas, the front of the hip. Front leg is getting nice and straight. Allowing the front foot to scoot in just a little bit closer, find a bend to that leg. And maybe continuing, so at first the back leg is still lifted, but see if there's a place where you can sink even deeper. So maybe you're freeing some of your shoulders out, sinking very, very deep into that right hip. 2 more breaths here. And then 3 times the front leg straightens and gently bends. 2, 1. Back knee drops to the ground. The fabric can swing around in front, just taking a nice gentle wrap around the wrist, not the full wrist wrap, just gentle. The front knee is bent at this moment. It's sinking even deeper forward. Perhaps we sink our torso into it. From leaning forward, the front leg gets to straight. Slowly we'll take those 2 poses again. So front knee bends, sink forward. Front leg straightens. And 1. Dropping the hands down. Perhaps just a slightly deeper experience is still available here. And as we gently rise out, we're going to make our way up into a nice downward facing dog before the second side. You can either come up to stand and just come into it normal. Otherwise, we can circle our hands around the front, take 1 wrap around, And then do the nice little flip, hook, and setting our hips down into down dog. So personal preference, either way we're ending up in a nice down dog. If you want toes to float, that's okay. Maybe wagging your tail left and right. As an additional shoulder stretch, if the feet are lifted, sometimes it's nice to clasp hands behind your back and trying to straighten them from behind. Another good inhale. Exhale, hands drop down, toes drop down. Before we come out, we take a little twist. Right hand is in front of the face, left hand reaches up, grabbing either strand to help rotate the shoulders open. And release. Second hand up. And release. Walking forward until your feet are flat on the ground. Aim for a few extra breaths on your own in a nice forward fold. Remember, it's not pulling you up. Bending the knees, slowly roll up. Take a step back, gripping wider than shoulders in front of you. Let yourself try to reach up, and then just rotate through the shoulder socket as far as the shoulders can go behind without completely going through that shoulder socket. So just a nice opening through shoulders. Opening pecs. Another good breath in. And then exhale, release the fabric behind you. Take it under the shoulder blades. Come back to sit. And then walking forward to plumb line. Second side. From here, our left heel slides long. 5 times, we lift it up with a nice exhale. And down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and catch. Let it pull it in. Trying to go for 3 more breaths if we're still doing okay. After that third exhale, left leg swings all the way behind us. We're on those back toes. Almost like we're kind of being held in a little partial split. Kind of let both legs go as straight as they possibly can. Sliding the front foot in just a hair, it allows it to bend. Sink even lower through the hips if possible. Maybe trying to free yourself out of some of the flesh on your back. Three cycles, front leg going straight and bend. 2. And 1. As it bends, start to set the back knee down. You can swing the fabric out in front. Just a gentle wrap. See if the hips can sink even lower. Maybe the torso starts to sink down as well. 3 slow, slow cycles. Front leg goes straight. Pause for a moment. And bend. 2. And 1. End up with the front leg straight. Hands can drop down. Beautiful. Gently coming up to stand. This one's a tricky inversion. So if the variation I do doesn't work, come out and you can do the dragon wings instead. So what we do is take the bottom of the fabric around the back of the neck. You can face forward. You've got 2 little loops by your shoulders, so your arms need to dive inside of those. As you start to lean forward, each hand needs to grab the fabric behind. And then once you've got that, back up under plumb line. It's a huge explosive lift of your core. Feet find the fabric and we lift upside down to a nice shoulder opener. It can be really intense, so you don't have to stay super long. Sometimes we're just working on that core strength. So don't feel like it has to be a competition. There's a fear thing for sure. If you want me to, like if you're okay with me standing behind you, I'm happy to spot. So that's the fear. So yeah, going. Yeah. I'm right here. I'm covered. Got it. Go ahead and take a dragon. Just lean back for a while, get some blood. Like that one does what vampire does, but even more. Amazing work, guys. If you haven't come out already, feel free to take a little break, a couple of breaths. And maybe as you're leaning back, you're playing with the shoulders still, maybe kind of taking one arm straight across, dropping the shoulder down for a moment. Maybe the second arm. Maybe clasping hands behind, pulling away from your spine. Start to come up to stand. We're going to take a few bonus little hamstring stretches. So we start off with our right ankle inside the fabric. You can hold onto the fabric or not as you try to take your straight spine down toward your thigh. If balance is pretty easy here, you always have the option to play with piston, trying to clasp the hands around the foot, even taking moments where you lift the foot away from the fabric. Just 2 more breaths wherever we are. Beautiful. Walk the hands up the fabric. Hop forward until we're about under plumb line. And then this right leg opens out to the right side. You'll notice if you hop to the right spot based on where the leg goes. If it doesn't want to stay at the side, you'll need to just hop forward or backward just a little bit more. If it stays at the side, grab this closer strand, slide that right hand down. Left hand grabs the same strand, slides up. Maybe there's more leaning into it, personal preference. Okay, squeezing our thighs together. So this bottom strand is the one that's touching the front of the ankle. The left hand stays on that side. So we bend the right knee, bringing it behind us, and then the right hand grabs the other. Once we're here, we're going to try to straighten the legs from behind. If there's still space to sink the weight backwards, you're welcome to do that as well. Good. If you sunk backwards at all, take your weight forward. And then we're going to try to keep the leg as straight as possible as it goes through the entire half circle. All the way to rotate forward. Once we're forward, grip high. Let's do a swinging switch. Bow down. With or without grip of fabric, depending on your balance today. You tried the piston before, maybe you're holding on to the foot, trying to lift it up at least for a moment. And let's rise up. You need to hop forward, start opening the leg out to the side. Make sure it stays at that sideways spot. It doesn't try to float behind or forward. And then left hand grabs this bottom one, sliding left hand down, right hand up, same strand. Maybe continue to sink into that side. Beautiful, weight back over your leg. You can keep the right hand gripping on where it is. Bend the leg to send it behind as you grip the left hand onto the other strand. There's a crisscross behind you. Once you're here, if the leg tries to go straight, this might be where you're at, or perhaps continuing to sink backwards into it. We start to bring our weight over the standing leg. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible as it goes back to return. Good. And as we step this foot out, if there's any last little poses your body needs prior to Shavasana, even something as kind as just a simple shoulder stretch or a simple forward fold, these can be absolutely beautiful at any point when your body's happy, ready for that Shavasana. We're at that good time in class. Begin to deepen inhales and exhales. Introducing little movements back to the fingers and the toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Maybe time with a little fetal position off to each side. Eventually, as we rise up to sit, we join our hands together in front of the heart. And checking in with our presence during this class, we ask ourselves a few questions. Did I feel obligated to do everything, even if my body didn't want to do something? Was I willing to listen to my body's wisdom? Was I playful with my body? Was I grateful for my body? How does my body receive this class now after that beautiful rest? And as I continue to be present with my body, is there anything my body wants me to do in the next hour or so to take care of it the very best possible? So with these types of questions to lead us onward toward a day of deep presence with this body, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the wonderful time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.